I just need
Yeah,
someone to kind of break it down for me,
mhm.
where, like from the start, like, okay, as a data analyst now, I honestly know most of the situations I'll be getting involved in is possibly something to do with data. They want me to clean data, they want me to bring out data, they want me to provide data, they want me to bring out analysis from data. So I have
Right.
the tools I use, Power BI, SQL, I can write code, I can write SQL to advanced level. So, this
Mm.
sort of things, I already have an idea. But when it comes to data science and machine learning engineer, I feel like the first thing is you need to know how to analyze data using things like maybe Databricks or Jupyter Notebook completely, all of the MATLAB, Seaborn,
Yeah.
and you need to then know how to build all these models, linear regression, non regression model, supervised learning, non-supervised learning, and all of those things. The machine learning engineer like using calling APIs, cleaning API data, JSON data. So I don't know all of those things, but I have an idea on like that's the process, but I don't know. So that's just what I'm
Yeah,
looking to get into now.
yeah, right. You just want a clear roadmap, like how you will be using backend, and in backend how you will be writing machine learning code, and how that you will be using that in the front end, and
Yeah,
how
exactly.
it will be making it
Exactly. End to
calls
end.
on the backend, and
Now,
how.
how to possibly organize organization data,
Hmm.
do analysis on data. I think I will first start with data science to analyze data, possibly using
Hmm.
maybe Jupyter Notebook or Databricks. Then, when I analyze the data, I understand the data, then I can build. When I've cleaned the data, transform it, then I can build, I can train, and all of those things. And
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, cool. Means basically I will start so we have 2 months, right? As you said that you can commit 2 months for this complete
yeah,
thing. So
yeah,
what I'm planning is on first month, basically we will try to cover all the conceptual things, like all the concepts and terminologies, so that you get familiar with them, all of them. Because once we start creating projects, so if I call about some tech term, you must be familiar with that, right? So
yeah,
that is
yeah.
important.
I think I'm familiar with most of those terms already, but
Ah.
obviously, I feel like maybe we could do 2 weeks of or 3 weeks of getting familiar with the terms, and maybe
Hmm.
one more time
Hmm.
a
Hmm. Hmm.
week of
Hmm.
big project. Then
Hmm. 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 Right.
what I'm planning to do. I want to get into a situation whereby I understand and I know it where I can even teach someone. I'm not saying teach someone, but like obviously when
Uh,
I get it to work, I don't need to look like someone that's just learned it 1 week ago or
Yeah,
2 months
definitely,
ago.
definitely, definitely. So
That sort of
basically, yeah, the main motive will be to make you industry ready so that you can create all those projects from your own.
yeah,
I will
yeah,
also tell you like which resources you could follow, like if you get stuck
yeah,
somewhere, or like if you're
yeah,
facing any problem. So
yeah,
which documentation you have to follow, and
yeah,
where you have to look about to solve resolve those issues, and how you can debug the code, obviously.
yeah, yeah. Especially
Okay.
debugging.
Mm-hmm. So I think the everything is clear on the payment side and everything. So we may start with the today's class, right? So
No, today I won't be able to do. I will only be able to do 1 hour today.
hmm,
Like
hmm, 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 hmm.
maybe just to 5. I need to go drop my wife at work by
Okay.
5.
Okay, cool.
So the plan is,
Hmm.
did you just say three, how many hours a week? 4 hours a week, yeah?
Yeah, you said that you can commit 4 hours per
I can
week,
commit
right?
more than 4 hours, to be honest. I can do more than 4 hours, but let's
Huh.
just say 4 hours. Then if I
Yeah.
can do more than 4 hours, I can tell you, okay, let's do tomorrow again,
Yes, obviously,
you
because
know,
you will have
that
to
sort
put
of
some
thing.
hours from your side as well. Like you have to practice all those things. So
Yeah,
you should have
yeah,
more than that. But 4 hours we will be doing together on this Google Meet.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Hmm, hmm,
And if I have more than 4 hours, obviously I will let you know because I can have more than 4 hours a week, but
hmm,
I'm very, very, it's like, it's just because, just to make sure, like, on the norms, I wouldn't have time until August, but I'm just,
hmm, hmm,
I
hmm.
lost my job. So I'm going to be getting redundant by next month. So I might just have the time now.
Okay, cool. So basically, so this first month, like mostly, like I think our initial weeks, we will be spending theoretically. If possible, like I will try to give some code demos
Yeah,
wherever
yeah.
you require. Like you can tell me, like if you want to see a demonstration of it, like
Yeah,
working
I think
demonstration of it.
I want to see more of demos, like
Yeah.
notes and what it
Okay.
means in
Right. Right.
practical sense. Then
Right.
what this means, like
Huh.
with supervised learning, how it's been done, this
Huh.
learning, how it's been done, analysis, the steps, first clean data, or look for outliers, vectors, all those things, you know.
Huh. So basically, so I will give you just a roadmap, like what you will be seeing in these upcoming lectures, right?
Yeah,
So basically, we will be going through the data science foundations in the first week, like all the introduction, exploratory data analysis. We will be just looking like why actually the EDA is important, right?
yeah,
So we will be looking at through the fundamentals, right? So
yeah,
if you will go to any website or YouTube videos, you will get the technique like how to do exploratory data analysis. But
yeah.
you should get the understanding like why exploratory data analysis is important in the first place,
Okay.
right? If you get a data science project, suppose you have to build a machine learning model, why exploratory data analysis is done, and what things you have to take care in the exploratory data analysis, right? So these all things we will be looking at week one. Like it will include everything like the tools used for exploratory data analysis, the life cycle of a data science project, like ML concepts. And then we will be performing some exploratory data analysis on real world data set. Like suppose we may do with a like a Zomato. Have you heard of it's a Indian company, like Zomato data set we can do, or a Boston house prices we can do. So basically,
Mm.
exploratory data analysis is nothing but asking questions to your data.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
basically we will be seeing like how it is done, asking questions to your data so that you can get more insights out of it, insights out of your data. Basically, it will help you to give you better understanding about your data, right? Then only you will be able to tell whether which columns are important, whether which rows are important, which columns affect the model the most, right? Which features affect the label. You are familiar with these terms, feature labels?
Uh, I think I should know feature. No, I don't know what it is, but I understand supervised learning works with
Huh.
labels and not supervised doesn't work with labels, unlabeled data. And I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
understand that.
exactly,
But
exactly, exactly.
practically, I don't really know
Hmm.
what it is and all of those things.
Hmm. So basically, a label is something that we predict. Suppose you have a column, this is your data set, suppose, right?
Yeah.
And in this data set, we use these many columns to predict this, right?
Okay.
We will use these all features. So basically, these are called as features. And this column, that is your final column, we will use to predict this. This will be your label. And now there are multiple different techniques, multiple different approaches that you follow in the exploratory data analysis to understand how this feature is related to this label.
Okay.
Like
So
which.
filters
Hmm,
are like the past, are like the original columns that comes
hmm,
with the data set, and label
hmm,
is like the additional column that we're looking to create or out of the data set or something like that.
hmm. Uh, you can say that, but that will be in a real world scenario. Basically, see what happens is while training, there are two things: training
Yeah.
and test. That will be a real world. That like this will be a real world thing,
Mm-hmm.
ground, ground reality, right? So in training, like we have complete data. In this, there will be feature also, there will be label also. F and L both are present here in this training data set, right?
Okay.
Basically, using these features, what is the outcome? What is the predicted variable? That will be also present in this training. And then we feed this training data to our algorithms that will create a model. But before this thing, to create a model, But before this, before feeding it to algorithm, there are lots of things that are done on the behind the scene. And and this is the most this is where like 80% of your time is consumed in a data science project. Model building is roughly around 20%, 20 to 30% of time. So in this 80% of time, basically you take this your features and see how they are related to this label. Suppose you have column, age, weight, salary, and your predicted variable, your column, is whether this person will take loan or not. This is a finance example for a
Okay.
finance department. So basically here we have age column, weight column, salary column, and on the basis of this, we will predict whether this person will take loan or not. Yes or no.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
basically in the training data set, this complete data set will be provided to us. We will also have this alone in the training data set. Here in this training data set,
Okay.
we will have this complete data set. Weight,
But
age, salary, loan.
how do we get this loan? How do we get it? Does it come with the original data set?
Yes.
Because I'm asking is because
Huh,
I
that's
have
a good
past
question. That is a definitely a good question. Like, how do in the first place to train our model, where we will get this?
I understand where we can get the age, weight, salary. It can be just it. I have data sets I can test with. These are the data.
Hmm.
But then how do we now predict to get this final one? I
Hmm.
think.
So basically, this will be your predicted variable, right? Can you come again? Means can you tell again your doubt? Do you want to know that from where we are getting this column?
This last column, this yeah.
This will be included on your training data set.
Okay, so that means like let's say an organization,
Huh.
let's say an
Yes.
organization already have a data set of people that has collected loan and
Yes.
not, and people that have not collected loan.
Hmm.
So now they now want to predict maybe loan is maybe the service they offer. Okay, let's say like maybe I'm working for a law company and I want
Hmm.
to know people that would do another service or not.
Hmm.
That sort of thing. So they want to see the service everybody, they want to see everybody that have done the service or they've not done the service.
Hmm. 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 So
So they now
basically,
want to be
yeah.
future.
So this is your historical data. This is
Yeah.
your question, right? So this is the past observations.
Okay. Past observations. Okay.
So basically, these are the things that we have observed before, and on this data set, we will create a model that will help us to predict future events.
Okay.
In this future events, now this loan will this column, this predictive column will be not given to us. Here,
Yeah.
this column will be empty in the future events, right?
Okay.
This loan, this will be empty here.
Yeah.
Still, the salary, age, weight, everything will be there. And
Yeah.
using that age, salary, and weight, using these, now we have to predict what will be this because this is not given to us loan. So, so basically here now what we will do is we will come up with some weights in this model, right? Some mathematical formula, or you can say algorithm that is applied here in this model, where we will feed where in this where in this model we will feed in our age, other columns, age, salary, weight, and this model will apply some mathematics. Okay, it will
Yeah.
be like some x plus x2 plus x3 plus, right? And it will give some value like x4. And now this x4 will be our loan.
Sorry, can you come back to where you said we build a model on the historical data? How do we build a model on the historical data? Sorry, I think I missed.
Yeah. Like, so basically, we will feed these columns, those that are your features, that are your
Yeah,
independent variables.
yeah,
This can be anything. Now, we will
yeah.
feed these independent variables to our model. Model is nothing but a mathematical equation.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I know models. I know model. Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay. So age will become X1, salary can become S2, S3 can become weight, then
exactly,
S4.
exactly, exactly,
So yeah, because I did economics, so I understand
exactly,
how models and variables and formula works.
exactly. So now this x1, x2, x3 will be related and will be play importance in predicting the loan that will be your x4. And now
Okay.
and now this is our model's job, this algorithm's job to tell whether how much this age is important in predicting the loan. And accordingly, it will set some values. Suppose say 0. 0.4. Age play 0. 0.4. Salary play, suppose say some higher importance, suppose say 0. 0.6. So salary have much important role here in predicting the loan.
Are
And
we the one
weight,
that is going to be giving those variable, those
yeah,
values?
yeah, yeah. Basically, these are weights. Like they will tell like how much times your age is dependent, age is related to your loan. Okay, let me give an example. So basically, this
Okay.
value, this weights. So we call them weights. Okay, let
Yeah.
me go to the new page.
No, that okay. And I would have
Just,
just loved this page,
just a
but that's
minute. Yes. So basically, see, here we have age,
yeah,
salary,
yeah,
weight, and this will be given to our model, and this will predict loan, right?
yeah.
Now, how do you think? Can you tell me, like, do you think, like, how will this define whether the loan is yes or no? Do you have any intuition behind it? Means, do you have any
I think
idea?
it will look like you can use like decision trees or use like
Uh-huh.
linear
Yes, yes,
regression or those sort of things,
yes.
models to see how often, or use machine learning and
Okay, so I will tell you exactly like how this is done. Okay,
Okay.
so here basically we will create some threshold here. Here we will create some threshold. Suppose this model will return us some value that will range from 0 to 1, between 0 to 1.
Yeah,
Now what will happen is we will create a threshold that if this value, suppose say x, this value is x, is smaller than 0.6. Suppose say this is a probability, you may say.
yeah, yeah,
Suppose say this x is smaller than 0.6,
yeah,
then this is a no.
yeah,
He will not take a loan.
yeah.
If this probability is great, sorry, I have, uh,
That one is greater than, then
yeah,
this is
yes,
less than.
yes, yes, yes. So if this x is smaller than 0.6, it will be no. If the x is greater than 0.6, it will be yes. Okay,
Mm,
you got this
yeah,
thing?
yeah.
Now, from where we will get this value, this x? Now, how will we will get whether this thing is 0.37 or 0.27 or 0.87, 88, suppose.
So how does, if all of these are not like, if they are like
Mhm.
strings, how do we convert them to integers to get all these numbers? If what we are comparing to S2, S3 are strings,
Mhm.
how do we not convert them to integer? Because all of these are integers, the 0 point something and all of this. Like, how do we do
Mhm.
that?
Integers, basically here we need integers only because here we will be applying mathematics on it, right?
Yeah.
So is this, if you are asking that how we will be telling that this is yes or no, that I told you
No,
like
like
hmm, hmm.
let's say maybe age. Let's say we're not using a data set that has to do with number, or is it that all the data set, let's say we're using a data set that has to do with colors,
Yeah, so
name.
I got to your point. You are talking about the numerical and categorical variables, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we will come to it later, like how we
Oh, that's fine. That's
use
fine. Okay, continue.
categorical variables. So basically, to for simplicity, to and
Yeah.
make you understand this concept, I've taken all these as numbers, numerical form.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
That's fine.
then we can
Continue.
come away again on later, like gender. We can come. That will be
Okay.
our textual data, text data, gender, suppose,
Yeah,
right?
that's fine.
But for now, we are not taking the gender. Okay.
Okay.
So can you tell like can you think like how we are getting this number 0.37 here that will tell whether the person took loan or not? This is
Um.
obvious. This is obvious that these these variables are responsible for it, for this value. Suppose say I have age. Age is my 37. Salary, suppose say 200K. Weight is suppose say 70 kg. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how will I create a model that gives me this value that will be used here to tell whether this is yes or no? I have to convert this into this scale, 0 to 1.
Okay. So
Okay.
everything must be between the 0 to 1, I think.
Yeah. So basically, this is what many other algorithms do. So that's why this model creation is just like a 20% of the effort,
Okay.
and 80% of effort is in EDA, exploratory data analysis.
Yeah.
Okay. And in this EDA, we do all of the stuff like cleaning data, processing data, manipulating data, handling missing values, handling outliers,
Exactly. Those are the things I want to, because they are kind of very different to the ones we
vis-
do in data analysis.
exactly, visualizations, feature importance,
Yeah.
feature selection. Because see, you can't use all the features that are available to you,
Yeah.
right? Here, if you will see that we have dropped this column,
So
right?
how do we choose features? I think
Hmm.
let's say like you have a
Hmm.
database of like
Good question.
30
Yeah.
rows or 20 rows.
Yeah. Yeah, right. See, so this is what comes in this feature selection process. We will come
Okay,
to
feature
it.
select.
Feature selection.
Okay.
There are multiple
uh,
techniques that are involved in this feature selection.
Okay.
So all of this is very important, and this plays 80% of the time in the exploratory data analysis. And this is very important in your accuracy of your machine learning model. If you want to increase your accuracy, you have to improve this process: cleaning process, processing process, visualizations, feature importance, feature selection. If you will use a wrong feature, definitely your model will give less accuracy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think those are the things. So I think I need to know like all of these things,
Yeah.
know all of the process, all of the practical work in
Hmm.
between everything. Make sure every work I do goes
Hmm.
through all
Hmm.
this process
Hmm.
completely
Hmm.
without
Hmm.
missing anyone.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
You
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, there's a thing. You go till this point here. Okay. I have a
know? Yeah.
quick call to join. Like if it is from my company.
Okay.
That was
Okay.
scheduled to like for 15 minutes until 9 p.m. So if you will be available, we can continue after 15 minutes, or else we will join, we can schedule next meet. Okay.
Yeah, I'll be available this weekend, but it will be around maybe around this time on Sunday or Saturday. But I'll let you know.
Ha, ha, ha. Okay.
That's fine.
Okay, no problem. Like if you will be available, we can join in 15 minutes, or else we can chat on the WhatsApp. Okay.
Oh, in 15 minutes. Yeah, that's fine. I think
Yeah.
I don't go out until like